Hey guys, welcome back to Curious Minds. I wasted over 10 years on useless addictions. Having goals in life is crucial. Here are 7 things that destroy a man's life. 1. Marrying the wrong woman. Marriage is one of the most crucial decisions for men. A partner that brings chaos to your life can ruin your entire life.
What do you mean?
Don't leave. Women leave 70% of the time. If they're college educated, they leave 90% of the time.
Correct.
Women ruin relationships and they ruin families.
Women leave.
Women typically do it.
Actually,
and so if a man ask the majority of men, their first choice is not a baby mother.
Mama.
Just like our first choice typically is not a short, broke guy.
That's right.
It's the same thing. It's the same thing. Now, will we put up with a guy that's shorter if he's good looking? Sure. Will a guy put up with a single mother if she has some other things that she brings to the table? Maybe she's attractive. Maybe she has other stuff. Maybe she's submissive. Whatever it is that he values. Yeah, but it's most men. It is not their first choice.
Okay.
2. Being a nice guy. Nice guys always finish last. Being a nice guy makes you a loser, and other people can sense your unreal behavior.
Be a good man, don't be a nice guy. And what that meant in our world was, hey man, when you're confronted with something where you need to fit in and do something that's against your character and your values and beliefs, you don't need to be a nice guy. You need to be a good man, right? If something comes up, you need to stand up for something that you believe in. Be a good man, don't be a nice guy.
3. Always making excuses. Men who play the blame game always end up being miserable. Learn to take ownership of the good and the bad.
Don't make excuses. Don't blame any other person or any other thing. Take ownership of everything in your world, the good and the bad. Take ownership of your mistakes. Take ownership of your shortfalls. Take ownership of your problems. And then take ownership of the solutions that will get those problems solved.
4. Talking more than necessary. When you talk less, you develop a 1,000 plus aura of power. No one can gauge your next step. You become a mysterious man.
So there's a law of power, and they're called always say less than necessary. Very kind of common sense law. And the idea is that if you're in a meeting with people, that man or woman who talks less generally has an aura of power, particularly a boss. They seem enigmatic, mysterious. And when they do something, say something, everybody's hanging on their words. What did that mean? What did it say? Whereas people who talk a lot give the impression that they're weak. They signal weakness. They can't control themselves. So they can't control themselves. How can they control anything in the business world, right? So we sense that in people. So be aware of that. You're probably talking too much in a lot of circumstances, and maybe you can control that. And so this is kind of a way of defending yourself in an environment where people will tend to see you as weak if you can't have any self-control.
5. Not taking responsibility for their actions. Taking responsibility for your actions makes you a peaceful man. You acknowledge what you've done wrong and celebrate when you win.
Responsibility. That's what gives life meaning. It's like lift a load. Then you can tolerate yourself, right? Because look at, you're useless, easily hurt, easily killed. Why should you have any self-respect? Pick something up and carry it. Make it heavy enough so that you can think, yeah, well, useless as I am, at least I could move that from there to there. And they think, well, I won't carry any load. It's like, okay, fine, but then you're like the sled dog that doesn't have a sled to pull. You're gonna tear pieces out of your own legs because you're bored. People are pack animals. They need to pull against a weight.
6. Not taking enough risks. Nothing in life is worthwhile unless you take risks. Don't always play it safe. High risk equals high rewards.
I found that nothing in life is worthwhile unless you take risks. Nothing. Nelson Mandela said, there is no passion to be found playing small and settling for a life that's less than the one you're capable of living.
7. Addiction to porn and social media. I've talked about this before. P*RN is lethal for your mental and physical health. If you have an addiction, you better quit it right now.
Then a great deal of, like, a massive amount of thinking, like truly stupendous amount of thinking has gone into sex. Yeah. Without purpose, without procreation. Which is actually quite a silly action in the absence of procreation. It's a bit silly.
Well,
so why are you doing it? Because it makes the limbic system happy. That's why.
That's why.
But it's pretty absurd, really.
Well, the whole of existence is pretty absurd in some kind of sense.
Yeah. But I mean, this is a lot of computation has gone into how can I do more of that with procreation not even being a factor. This is, I think, a very important area of research by NSFW.
An agency that should receive a lot of funding, especially after this conversation.
I propose the formation of a new agency.
Oh, boy.
Thank you. Be sure to subscribe for more life hacks.